Today na the 14th day of March 2023. Enough far again. Enough act again. Soon, the people of Sierra Leone go decide. Whether they want forgive the reins of power for the next 5 years. April go can just know. We go make President Bill 5 years in office. Tin Tranga, that one day you can't take it away. Tin Tranga na salon. Yes. Tin Tranga na salon. The people of Sierra Leone, they go through hard times. A caring government go on for listen to really wetin dey happen to the people them and try for cushion that heaviness by the people them and make am sweet small for them. As it is right now, that affects the not the feel am. With the high cost of living, you think say it's too late for turn things around for the people in a salon? You think say it's too late? Material, welcome on board. For turn things around for Sierra Leoneans. I don't explain the other day why the local produce them self-expensive. Local produce, they're expensive. Wetin do? Because that person where they produce locally, instead they use things them when I imported things them. So if the things that we they import is expensive, instead get for increase in price for match up waiting it get for go buy. You understand me? If it get for buy imported rest, we right now, a 600,000, yeah, for one bag rest. That person they pull per mine. Per mine will be 150 for butter, 200,000 for butter. But right now, per mine don't go up to 600,000 for butter. Because instead of for increase in price, so that at the end of the day, it go meet up for able buy one bag rest. We don't go up. It can't left in price for waiting for 200,000. Now 150 now will be the sell trade. Now so no. Because if na done day, it's not go able for me top for buying one bag rest. With added transportation, way back don't go up. So they say dollar. Rest go tell you about dollar. Yes. Then go tell you about dollar. Then some people go say, we're waiting happen with the pamine, jelly. Why make them for go up? Then get for go up because waiting do pepper. First time they say, how pepper connect with dollar? And so then they talk, how pepper connect with dollar? When pepper get for connect with dollar because dollar connected to other imported goods them. Other imported goods them where dollar connect to so pepper self it get for the worker where the price of them thing and then go up, pepper bag get for go up. But what is the government doing? What's in the Bureau administration they do for cushioning the effect of the entire panwi? You go say, una self, all tell una talk, una they see what's in the happen in Russia and Ukraine. Is it waiting? You say Russia and Ukraine? Mister, I go tell you. You know they see what's in the happen in Guinea? Yeah. Because Guinea, now we never them move. Guinea back na neighbor them. You know the same thing that happen there. Eh? We owe money, it don't for them. Say. The Guinean safer. Where they look the Leone, he say, na Nicholas then go give you. Mba. Say, but push me pass. Say, but all you new clothes, me, I still le beat you. The Leone will get new clothes. But the Guinean safer, not so for we. Not so for we. So, how can we turn things around? How can this administration turn things around? Say, you know what? No, man, they need for less. How? Then they tell you, say, then they do them, but to know they feel the effect. Now, make me, they tell you, say, right now, man, you what? Now, action, fulfill the effect. You don't do this kind of change. Let's see it. Let we see the change. Let we see the change that happen. Now, na pa rumor no more they say the bank governor we say no they listen to nobody. They don't say on long-term leave. But paper no come out for a more. Or you don't see the paper. Because me I not see it. You don't see the paper say the bank governor don't go waka. Eh? You don't go waka. Now they say the deputy bank governor na NDD. But we still wait for the, you know, say we na ya, who know take rumor. Na we all know. I don't know if you don't know stand up Sarah network, we take rumor. So still wait, forget the official. Or when they send person on long-term leave. Eh? Then they pull press release or public notice for her. But Papa ain't be saying they listen. Why are you saying they hear nobody? If that is not true, eh? But they ain't gonna force. If not true no more. Papa will need for talk to you. Yes. God and say then tell and say for go long time. I say if they forget say in a professor. You know they listen nobody. Papa God help we. We don't see we own. And this country we call Salon. Tin tranga tin mona. It is true. Say the corona come. The corona turn my picking na the world. The mona all side. All side. It the mona. Now Russia say Ukraine. Now can end this corona talk first. Eh? He say, now we end them. Corona they can't done. Wait. And Russia go back by Ukraine. And a corona talk like that so. Now China no more come on one say. Can leak corona talk pa we say, corona don't come more. Corona they China. Then they come against some people when they come on China. Then they come against people in the blood when they come on China. Yes. But corona, what are them? Russia and Ukraine and then kill corona talk. Things be hard. Intendedly. We understand. We they try now for turn things around. They want to never cow their own. But nevertheless, a responsible government go know what go do for people. Well, we administrations have be doing you. The bureau administration. You do you know. Then come say 1,309,000 and you for give people them. But before they give you, You toilet, not for the inside use. Those are the questions they were asking before you go meet the criteria for me, then give you the money. You toilet up for the inside use. You get for the common na net na do. Or you do ampa, you know eh? If na paint cup now, na any kind thing na they do and then you can't throw away and do. Now you go able to meet the criteria for make you be get 1,309,000. And then when they say the story, the whole way, Iboku. Yeah, me, person will tell me, say, bra, the person will put me name. In force, it get half of the money. Don't the transport say when don't pay. When don't pay. For they go, because not every day they get. Eh? Ah, yeah. Okay. Thomas Lake Jr. say, government for don't subsidize fuel for avoid this. Fuel be just they go up, but they not agree. He say, be talk am. He say, would I ever advise government for not for subsidized fuel, then for sack am? Well, I make a shock you, Thomas. Government say, then they subsidize fuel. Yes. The Bureau administration say, then they subsidize fuel. If not to say them, they not be the subsidized fuel. The kind way fuel price for don't go right now. Yeah, Papa God. Yeah. Ganoba, thank you for the stars. So just in case you feel say they need subsidize, then say then they subsidize. Government they charge with GST per lights. The light too they buy. Then they take tax day. They no get my left for more. Even in the almost 10, the increase not happen. Pan the pandemic now, pan the Russia war now, all thing. Government force them live by tax. This administration, they live by tax and they're not ready for good and tax for nobody. They're not ready for good and tax for nobody. Oh. And they tell you say now the light too, no they get through. We black out and I pass the light. Then they tax we. Inside the pandemic, there was a raise by electricity. But all over by the pandemic now and the Russia and Ukraine they increase price by electricity. Government not be ready for no oui. Because waiting do, then wage bill, then get for me chopper. Then get for me chopper. Where international price go down per fuel, then begin make like tortoise for put and on. Yes. Then as you go up, so can't look the speed for this, but I don't talk on air, not to 110, not to 210. Then petroleum, marketers then. Now they sabi control this administration and they look behind self. They sabi control this administration and they look behind. If they want something, but I see the lock game. Bye. Yes. When see the lock game, my dear, the result what they want, it happen. The result what they want, it happen. We don't say Bokute. If government reduce the price, then say that price day, they don't want to go down yonder, then begin hold the fuel. You know why? Because then you say is the government they tax. The government's not the forgo the yun. Why they want push them for let them forgo the yun parts? Now, the big trouble between them and the government, I tell you so. They say the government's not the forgo the tax and all the around where they take pan money. But government don't want them for make what they want for make. Then are them for loss. So because this government back, Then want the own. Well, no ambog me own, another ambog you own. Now they happen between the fuel people, the petroleum marketers, and this administration. Me, Tripoli, I saw us here. Government can tell we all waiting the one for tell we. Tell government ba. Then they tax the way they tick. Tell them ba. Then tax the way they take. Let them forgo some. Pas the fuel no more. Pas the fuel. Let them forgo some. But let's see if they do. They do. So now me the old marketer them back say who say they do. As they make so, they begin hot fuel. As they make them begin hot fuel. This past December, we to line for fuel. To line for fuel, not too small. Some of you buy Jebu. Some of you they buy Jebu. How do we get this administration? For able to understand, see, true things mona for the people of Sierra Leone. How? Because it seems as if waiting they talk and waiting then they talk, we know they see one side. We know they see one side. Who talk say things the mona and say the Russia-Ukraine war. But who stand Russia-Ukraine war kind side? And who stand this monanes? Who stand the war the ground dry? Who stand that one day come on? And who stand Russia-Ukraine war or even coronavirus? Russia-Ukraine war get an effect? Yes, it does. And I say not get to. But a government we caring. A government true we caring. Baba God. Philip Sao. How much you pay for gasoline in America this past December? I know be pay because I be the salon, I be the two line for gas na salon. So I not been buying in America, I be the salon the two line. If you ask me, and I need to talk about America. I need to talk about salon. Where you come to things them when I want to compare salon in America. Salon get 24-hour electricity. Why you not tell me say, well, if I talk about blackouts now, tell me say America where you do so, you get 24-hour light. They ask me that question. They ask me that neighbor. Because it's simple. It's simple. We get waiting, we want for compare salon and waiting, then we get waiting. We are left. Waiting at the minimum wage. If you want to compare America, cano. Waiting at the minimum wage in America. Waiting at the minimum wage in a salon. Waiting at the life expectancy in America. Waiting in a salon. So let's just focus on salon. Full. Let's just focus on the salon. How much for gas na salon? How much for gas na America? Salon, you know, say na by liter. And salon liter na 5 liter na they make 1 gallon. Now left below just focus on salon. If you want to go do like the Guinea salon. Don't ask me about America big. Now just focus on salon who they talk about. Now do we neighboring. We neighboring. Farmers say, he said, okay, due to the increase of living goods and services, okay, due to the increase of cost of living, goods and services, then they don't increase them price. So wages don't go up for everybody, even on Molanke River. When they make it sound worse than it is. Sumantoli, thank you for the stars, sir. Eh? Hey, Papa God. Let's continue. We will talk about Tintranga na Salon. Now we talk about. And waiting the government for do. Some of we, if you want to come to America, some of we receive the 1,200. You want to get picking and sabi, how much they receive? Yeah? We are at the heart of the pandemic. Even the one in the UK for the electricity, then sabi how much they receive. So long no go there. Don't no go there. Law left them country, then they suffer. Law focus on we own. We'll get the 24-hour electricity. We get systems in place, systems where they work. Tintranga under President Bio right now. Now they talk about. Now right now me they talk about. Tintranga. What in President Bio for supposed for do? It don't too late for make it turn around. But President Bio, something the one the way they near him, the one the way they talk so right now, na the comment section, something at the same language then they speak. Say, pa no worry you. But you know say America back Tintranga day. England Tintranga day. No worry. What's in the unemployment rate in the salon? Do we even have that statistics? Eh? So no worry, left them. Anybody who talks it in Trangapa, na they opposition them. Eh? Na they opposition them. Now then they talk it in Tranga. As far as we concerned, everything is okay. Everything is okay. And you just say we minimum wage in the diaspora, we're able to pay 50 people them or more inside Sierra Leone. If you think say because tin Tranga na America thing for Tranga na Salon. If you think say because tin Tranga na Europe thing for Tranga na Salon. Well, me say for the thing say because I get 24-hour lights na America, I need forget 24-hour lights na Salon. How about that? Eh? Victor Ford they say then they leave now Sweden. The government be give them money because of the high price of electricity. No, we own. Then they take tax for let them get the money. Eh? The things the way they enjoy there. We want to. A lot of people don't sell their soul, not for go salon back because of waiting do. Cocoa ebe, waiting at the cocoa ebe there. The basic things them, light, water, medical, and system. Good. Then basic thing and then I make some man. And I remember say for go salon. Instead of we try for fix those things. No, we always the pick and choose. Eh? We always the pick and choose. We then talk say, hey, America chef, my dear brother. Hey, we get what they call food bank. Eh? You get Salvation Army. You get in church there. Now yeah, pass you one sleep hungry. You able go there, they go give you eat. You able come on at this one, where do you go na the other one? If you sabi the position, they no more. You do go get thing there for it. You get an salon. let's focus by the topic. Now I make I can talk, see the one the way they support the pastor, the president, or anyone. The one the way they support, now then are the problem. Because now therefore able to tell the one the way they support say, bra, for real though. For real. Things ganga bing. We need to do something for the people. But if the one they support, they not care. So what do you expect? So what do you expect? You get low income people they get EBT card. You get it? We get EBT card. Government they put money there for that card day for them for spend. So when we are talking, please, do we have those safety nets in Sierra Leone? No. We're not getting social safety nets then. Who the government there for pay then rent na saloon? That's the one the way they inside government too. Now they no more. There are so many things that we can't even lose focus. On a left. No compare. Yeah? Okay. Anyway, like I'm with Thomas Dixon. Yeah? Like I'm with Thomas Dixon. Let me hear you waiting in talk this morning. Na Radio Democracy. Waiting in talk this morning. I want to pay attention. Yeah? Lord, listen, waiting in talk this morning. Maybe we'll go learn something. We'll go learn.
Well, I think government for be empathetic, government for able for cut down on expenditure, government for able for going some certain things then. Even in UK, in terms of energy bills, when the Russia and Ukraine war they affect them in terms of energy, the government come in bigly. But here in the peak of COVID, government increase the electricity tariff, where we think say at that time government for either maintain the electricity tariff or then for bear the burden, but that not be the case. But about diversification of the economy, where the two speakers then talk about, I think since independence we don't talk about diversification of the economy, concentrating on agriculture and tourism, but over the years that statement only remains statement and nothing. We'll not see anything, any improvement about that. Yes, we've suffered in terms of COVID, in terms of Russia and Ukraine war, and we see some form of government effort, like what the Honorable Minister mentioned, the QUAC. We provide about 500 billion for trader importers, about 5 sets of 5 categories of people, and also according to government-owned document, in terms of fuel. Government, they forgone in 2020, they said they forgone about 60.7 billion in terms of revenues to government. In 2021, they forgone about 248.9 billion. And electricity, yes, electricity don't improve on paper. But as Honorable say, we are yet to see the actual improvement of electricity. Even in Freetown here, we see of late where they get blackout, constant blackout, and you go to other places who say government they say don't improve on electricity. And when a country wherein you have electricity, for example in the capital, even the poor of the poor go able for sell cool water, sell ginger beer, and get something. In areas like Lunge, if electricity the poor of the poor go able for do then kind of stuff then they and sell. But this is not happening. And when you look at the cost at which prices they go, they talk about the forex. I tell you, the dollar just the Leone just they depreciate. It's like it's in a free fall from about 800,000 leones in 2018 to now we are talking about 2,080,000 leones, and which is very, very difficult for Sierra Leoneans. Imagine somebody where they pay $1,000, where at that time now be 8 million leones for a house. Now they pay something like 20 million leones for the same property. So this time they get a toll, even for business people, entrepreneurs, Leonean entrepreneurs, we rent shop. You go to Campbell Street, most of the shop they now they close because people left. I same 1,000, not to say the dollar, the price increase, but the rate at which the Leone they depreciate, they affect them business. Some of them they close, some of them they sack workers them because of the rate at which. And these are all the things where they say government for being empathetic. Wherein you have the honorable mention about Ghana, wherein government cuts down on the salary, about 30% on the salaries of government ministers. I want to say Ghana's situation was a bit worse than we own, to the point that they to IMF now for let IMF bail them out. But in what we say they face there's similar situation. I want to see a situation where in government go forgo certain things. Where in government go say we know they take this tax. You talk about the top up internet. I think we don't go up drastically. You know they blame the mobile companies then because exchange rates also don't go up. But when you watch at the sub-region, no other country, the way you go say don't increase top up or cost of internet. So that has nothing to do with global. It is either government, they no one for reduce the tax, so then they put the burden on the people. And as Irali say, where you have an empathetic government, an empathetic leadership, some of these things you they forgo you they bear and let the people let benefit at the end of the day. So a situation very, very, very serious as we go into another election. We say we government need to be serious about diversification of the economy. We need to be serious about agriculture. If this Russian-Ukraine war not land Africa and Sierra Leone, anything is about agriculture. We have to be serious about it.
Now, agriculture for over the past years, government in, government out, don't they put emphasis on agriculture? You think say that emphasis on the agriculture and investment in the agriculture, they reflect on the living condition of the people, especially in the area of bread and butter?
As I say in me remarks just now, some of their statements that we government they make just remain for big statements. And if you go now the Ministry of Agriculture, you follow the recent audit report, you see so many projects where they don't mishandle. Like for instance, the onion project, Nalungi, about 4 districts, they don't mismanage that project. You get the palm oil project. Palm oil, now they produce some, but palm oil has risen from about 200,000 euros per batta in 2018 to something like 700,000 euros, which is a huge cost. And then we have a project, a 9.8 billion project on palm oil production in the Ministry of Agriculture, where don't mismanage according to audit reports. So you get government can get them plan and they will mismanagement here and there. You have the Toma bomb. According to the audit report, the Toma bomb is nowhere to the Toma bomb project is nowhere to go to. The Toma bomb project it just didn't know more as a project. Nothing they happen. So we want to see 4 years ago, this government don't talk about this Toma bomb, this and that, blah, blah, blah. We want to see some of these things, they actually manifest. We are in the people, the layman out there, we're able for go to market, able for cook a good meal for in Pekin, for a family. The layman out there go able for eat very, very well. But as I speak now, the situation is they get worse each and every day. Right. And the people of Sierra Leone and all of us as a people, we need to come together and look at this kind of situation because you get to look at the economic situation on the backdrop of the Russian-Ukraine war, on the backdrop of a pandemic.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas.
For come together and look at this kind of situation because you get to look at the economic.
The situation they get worse every day. Usai, na salon. Now then the situation they get worse. Now Thomas Dixon they talk so. I tell you just how much for per mine. Not so. Yes. Government gets projects for per mine 9.8 billion. Then nakan lakom. Eh? Then nakan lakom. To themselves. Anti-corruption go can't just know they say they catch them back. And so well, we don't make them can't cow the money, don't they carry the money back, then put on our pots. If government get good intention, let's say this per mine project. A good we don't talk now how this anti-corruption can go after people we like when the audit report can pick and say can't pay back, you can't pay back. Then they say then go put her inside the consolidated fund. Then and they go for that till they be say them pull and fall. Now then go deep in back and say you can't take. We safe can't take, you mismanage. Okay, later then go after you, then say cow the money. Cow time. Don't you come on a corner. You come back, you can't take. But in the name of, if right now they tell you, oh, government go tell you, well, we'll get 9.8 billion project for per mine. Where? Eh? Where did Thomas boom? Thomas Dixon say, he said nothing, no they. But the Minister of Agriculture go tell you, no, the Thomas bomb, it in full working order right now, people, and they. How do we turn things around? Can we turn things around? Can this administration turn things around? Make people at least say, it better. We'll get a slogan say, where see something don't go up na saloon. Abadan na in that. Eh? Where see something go up. For later they can on again. Couche. And this not to the saloon we want. Not to the saloon we want. And this administration, I don't think she said then they listen. Or if then they listen something they need to understand. And so you want fiber. Either they know they listen or they know they understand. Seriously. Yeah. Philip say, Amos young man, they want for do agriculture except alone. A lot right now. Trust me. Yeah? A lot. Welcome on board this Mantoli. You get the platform, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, for having me. And also, I thank everybody who is listening to this program. I will start by critically looking at your question, where you say, with the increase in cost of living, how the BO administration will turn things around. Well, I mean, we get only 3 months to elections. And you see the momentum already is all about elections now. So if you say they get that time again for able to turn things around, because when you come on politics, I think time is critical. Time is critical. So I doubt it very much how then we will turn things around inside 3 months. And this will the talk right from the beginning. Now this program say government get for need for let them get the priorities right. I think one major concern, one major problem with this administration is the issue of getting them priorities right. And I think If we can remember, all the frequent listeners to this program, right from the beginning, 4 years back, we only talk about how this government they get the priorities right. What do we mean by getting the priorities right? We all know, say, when you talk about government policies, they are not mutually exclusive. In other words, when we say they prioritize this, it don't mean say no get for do this. You go do them. But what thing go determine the level or the priority is the effort we put upon them. And they determine the amount of priority where you give on that particular policy or that particular project. In as much as we no go rule out, say maybe the president get good intention in the long run for the country, but I think when he considered a slogan, he look at the manifesto, and he look at some of the things them way I feel say very alarming, where you need urgent attention at the country. I think say we are correct to say they're not getting priorities right. Let's start by looking at the concept of bread and butter. I think one thing every listener will agree with me. I think the issue of bread and butter, they're not correctly addressed in the country. To the layman, when you talk about bread and butter, how you go able to put food on the table, how you go able, go in a shop where go meet that increase, that rapid increase in price. I think say that then how you go able to pay transport where go be too much for them. I think that some of them here would they consider when we talk about bread and butter issues. But we clearly listen to Thomas Dixon, along with other people that they don't address the issue of the economy. We know say, and even the people that within the country, clearly we know say the prices they not increase by 200% or so. So that's not a big burden for a country like Sierra Leone, where the struggle, where we will say we get poverty in the country. So nobody will come out for can argue, say the issue of bread and butter has been addressed. That issue they not address them. And when governments they administer wrong policies them and allow those policies to carry on for a very long time, it gets some serious impacts. Right from the beginning, I think if they don't listen to the public, then they read the people and body language, then they read and listen to other opposition parties them. For example, NGC, when they come periodically, they can't give them statistics promoting and they study in the market. Tell them how the people and they feel. Even you program, you begin one program where you send people in the market, people and they respond. I think things like that, it's a government for the land, for the listening to their response here. Because at the end of the day, when you talk about policies, then how effective, I will test for effective policy is how them policies and they transform the people. They reflect on the people. And they determine the test of the success of policies. But when the people and they come out, then they periodically they come out and say we know they feel good. At least when we say people and we know they talk about everybody, because in life we're not able to satisfy everybody. But let the majority say, well, things then they better, then you gonna say actually things they improve. But we clearly know say this government, know they read the body language, they know they understand, then they listen to what people and they talk. And when I talk about some of the policies the way government don't administer, and then only carry on with them policies for a very long time. Let's take the case of the bank governor. Clearly and critically, we all know say some of the policies that the bank governor take, they're not help the country in any shape or form. Some of the policies that the government talk. For example, you go auction dollar in a country where say they export much. You go auction dollar for a country where they export much. I think to a very large extent that was one of the blunders the way me go see the bank governor be make. And one of the things that we have been only mentioned before now this very platform, sorry, what I don't mention before now this platform is when they take policy system, especially policy system where economic policy system, then get what you call unintended consequences. In the sense that sometimes say they expect them, what they expect not to give. So redenomination when we don't stop, we get COVID-19, you get the Ukraine and Russian war. Normally some of them economic policies their way it based on what is said. They take them when there are uncertainties. When you get a lot of uncertainties ahead of you. They take them. I think one of the mistakes again where we know clearly say it don't happen is the redenomination of the currency at a period of uncertainty. It don't make sense. So I also agree with you, Triple A, where you mentioned, say, in other countries, then they help them with some form of social security benefits, but in a country whose side will not get them benefits, then and you can't get the situation where they happen, inflation, we get the Ukraine Russian war, we get impact of COVID and all that, and it just to make situation worse. So normally, what in economists then they do, then they look for short-term policies. We will help for cushioning the impact of the entire. But to my surprise, some of the issues are not really listed. And one of the issues, one of the way we can do them, then get what they call fiscal discipline within the NSFSF, the governments, the officials, them. Then they do what you call fiscal discipline. But we're not seeing much of that happen within this government in terms of fiscal discipline. One of the short measures the way they can take. We get subsidies, for example. I know say you mentioned, say, that they subsidize in terms of fuel, but they translate much. So when one economic policy they translate much, then when I get for look for other venues in order for cushion the impact where the economy they get on the people. I think subsidy now one other way where they can do them, but these are the things. So they talk where government not dey listen to the mass system. We are not saying that some of the policies that way the government take, get make bring benefit to the country. But as I say earlier on, to all the listeners, I think the priorities they're not able to get them right. And now they listen to the president, they talk about agricultural transformation, which would have been a priority in this government. Because when you talk about bread and butter issues, the basic human needs, the food, shelter, clothing, prices, transportation, those are the basic human needs. Those are the bread and butter issues, them. Way for address, way for prioritize. Imagine if we been take agriculture very seriously, by now we dey talk about export. So these are some of the things them where I feel say Dixon also they try for highlight and in a talk about a second term of office, for bring agricultural transformation, but would that guarantee a second term? In as much as maybe for the long run, education is a good thing. You get good intention for the country, but honestly speaking, in politics, more importantly, you get for prioritize. You get for put your priority to them right. And one thing for sure, I'm not saying that they use the Ukraine war, talk about the impact of COVID, but one thing about a government, you always they plan for the uncertainties as well. A good government, they plan for uncertainties. Because there is always what we call exogenous shocks, such as the impact of COVID. We talk about Ukraine war. We don't say then they are not they done. So what a good government they do, not always they think say it's all rosy. So always get a plan. Always get a plan in case this thing happen. I think that is also missing in not only for this government, even other previous government them as well. We always get from members say, things are not always the same. Exogenous shocks then they come inside. Always plan for shocks. So and so that when it happen, we not always go fair way for cushioning in order for but the rate at which the country going at the moment, especially the way how the leons they depreciate against other major world currencies, them is very alarming, and it's very alarming. It's too late now because elections you can't do much. You can't do much. So for conclude, what am I saying here? As honestly as possible, we are not saying that this government not bringing some benefits, because we therefore be look at the pros and cons side of things. They make some major, they bring some major development in terms of the education sector. We know to a very large extent, then bring some access now the classroom, then bring that, and also we see some of the project and on they complete. We see the airport itself don't launch. Some of the things then they get, but overall, when you look at the base, honestly speaking, I think that the priorities then they get wrong. And if you listen to, if a government they listen, you always they listen to how the people and they respond, what's in the people and say. You work with the people then, because at the end of the day, it's all about the masses. It's about how the people and they feel. You listen to their feedback. You manage the expectation well, and that's what I've been saying as well. How you they manage people's expectation, and this government lack the ability for manage people's expectation well. And when that is missing, then there will be a lot of dissatisfaction. And that we see in this government. So I will stop here, like a chance to my fellow finalists. Them. Thank you very much, Triple A, and thanks to everybody who are listening.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I want to say thanks to Usman Toli for your submission today. The cost of living in Mona right now in a salon. Tin Trianga. You think say it's too late for President Bill for turn things around? For make things sweet small for we people them? That's the question. Welcome on board, whose friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving the platform. Sorry about that. Thanks a lot for giving the platform, and thanks a lot for talking me through. But regarding the way we may see how the thing go, there is a need for them to turn the economy around. But the challenge is in Boku. They therefore look at many ways and how they therefore check their budget in terms of what's in the come and what's in they go out. But it mostly depends on what in the country get and how they get for manage them. You see, then therefore look at how the government, the bank, they get for work. And there's a lot of challenges they get for looking into the market. Because one, the market area is not be so much well work in terms of international trade, all the home trade, and how even the trade relates to the bank, the bank. See, because that relationship between the trade, the bank, and the bank, the area that one be more challenging. But when you look the present situation we there, You know, we say not to because of global issues or na global reason then they cause them, but you go see that things that we not dey in place, we other things they can't shock now. They go find out say how the growth get for go. But when you talk of development in any country, you look at many things that we call wetin make the country in economy go up. You see, look at how the one they were responsible at the high top, how then they relate, especially let's say like the central bank in way, where they say monetary. See that system they would introduce. And but we see say them side pandemic area, one of the big one there, they not be so much careful come put ideas there or sense who will make one thing go before. Because you see the government in sense, not being they go with the idea of the one way they look after, the idea they with the money where they keep for let go. You see? So but this we don't see I mean they go on and they see the challenges and what they do between the two heads them. Don't say in a public place is them, but it not been get that relationship. So the relationship now not been there. Then be once that relationship not been there, the problem, the chain work, anything what they do now not been they work so well. Because nobody would there for observe, for let them go see risk factors. The way they look at economy, they therefore look at risk factor. Anything before they go on that side, they for go develop. You see, and you as a developer now, what you look for in the market in any area, whether you be a businessman, you be a politician, because what in the country they go before now business, but it come in different form. You dey invest on the people them, you try for put things in place. But if the areas the way they watch out, there you not get people who they look for indicator, anything where you take, or people who they review, lot come first, bien low review. But as long as they're not able to communicate between the one they will keep the money, and the one that will they deal with how the money get for go, then the one they now what they get it when amongst them now they see different things and they go on. So now then you left out in the price control. They see the market, people who they deal with market, see interest, how then they put tax, and the government they look at tax backs and then they get tax now in the source of revenue. So you begin to think, say, well, how will we for manage? But at the bank area more, especially in Sierra Leone, the what they cause are not directly. Because the problem with Sierra Leone now, in especially developing country, the main thing we will not be able to get now, the way where the market they work. You see, because when we not get people who they look say, well, the market in the bank, because you look at the traditional banking more, and whether it's traditional banking or the actual bank, then system will be done today. But when you look at that way, with the customers and the people that will get for involved in that market, they will see them will boost that market. Then nobody will be understand too much between the so-called retail banking. You see, in the retail banking, I think people always they go for go get and deal with their business. So you know, they work so much. When you look at the one where they become introduced, Usai look say them you introduce one other marketing, when a type of banking, the transaction that the people and they take the money, then they give or then they send her that they spend inside. Without that spend inside, now the one they would the mobile units them bring telephone, then one they will get mobile units. So they see the revenue. You know they're not a storm for like go get interest, but now pass in the pass with rates. So people they use the mobile system because they're not being able to catch up with that formal banking. And the one they want the bank, the bankers, they still boku who they look at to area. And most of the banks they now wouldn't get that salon, they not they get that investment, so they see the capital they go flow. So they say when they put the money because they get the area where they do stages of developing the economy. But the method they would introduce first with the bank, they introduce the one where they see the quantity, the money, they go boku, follow me quantity. Then when they use the quantity, what thing happen? The system of the economy we don't become and I kind of kill the economy before that point day. So but when the economy they don't kill her now, they not actually die off, but do that process, what thing happen? Then bring in something that was well, they give once on a while something where they cool down that effect. And during that cooling effect, they don't get anything will not growth. Then bring the bank governor bring the one that speed money you say quantitative, it give dollar out for let go stimulate growth. They say at some point the give for let go costing for grow up, you know, let people and glad this. So in the form of a kind of a booster way, you see like bribery. So then you they see most times now, in as an individual in decision there, they get that relationship where they get people then go say, well, will they make a decision based on waiting will they see? And most of the decision wouldn't do during this process, they say the one that way they side and way money, they work out of finance or development, the one that when they start the idea, they're not going to listen to each other. The one that when they go for good disburse now, they always get the side whether they handle the profit because you don't come. But when you look again that side, because what me question the area where you do that quantitative, because I see something similar now. Okay, when the pandemic been there, they say let the people then claim money for insurance or for their business or do other things. Then in they tell you about giving money at some point to traders and investors. But the physical money for saying, yeah, this James Alpha and I give the money is the big question now. Who will not know this if not kind of, because when you look at some pattern of thing will be happening, there are trades and business will be open. We will not be ever know if na business open but money be don't go that side. But that side will not go so look at so more. But the effect where you keep on that quantitative side, where say I make money, let it flow. That now the one thing where you begin to see the money don't they go, but it not be the kind of development. Because one, the people who they retail banking, it not be favor them. Because now the market areas and when they talk about that pepe, there are things where they go. And that retail, the final retail. You see, when the retail market and the retail banking, they really work. The retail banking, you go to the counter, you go there and deal with you keep your money. Or you if you see that money where they do that informal way, where you be saying just that spending, then they spend out. That while they see mobile money, they go fast, and they send out 500,000, don't go now this side. So, but the government they get rates that will they only go the interest rates. So, but once it happen, the one they will get a compliment in, and they get always a rate, when they get a shares. So that when they see the government open they look. So when the shares and they can now, you see the interest rate is different, yeah, and here. What they get to keep your money is different. So what they get, what they keep your money, so mine they move and say, well, I put an offshore. You see, so or the returns. Or you they go invest the other side. So you see, say we on bank, no they get side because we are the retail bank and the banks that they develop. And when you look at the banking system as in Africa, like Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, Egypt, when you look at the areas that we don't get more than 50% of bankers. We be saying not just banking on just the rate of say they sell in three items. The products then when go sell them, they can get a small fixed account and other thing. But the one day when they get the big product, when we say business they go, look like Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered get about 37 units them around the African units. Of them they get 16 full one the way get that present, we say they work present and do other thing. But we are among them now, we don't accommodate because Standard Chartered are launching because the UK based and that's for pull out. So what they do now, they left the banks them in. So that they left now only business of business that will a big business. Would I handle to do like them minerals or petrol or other things them that they're not going to for deal with. So you see the present Maura retail banker, so they don't push that dollar for war, you don't go there, they circulate. It's a very difficult concept, but because of you get people that will rascal from the economy, like we say the relationship will be there between the governor and in the government, the policy side, you know, when they work up to the last minute. I think a clip which was so funny, where they even make a remark, he walk away, and okay, he would still mark and say, wait, tell me if you whether he did it now or you not did it. And that was the day, like when he turned him up, was he the game goodbye. Because they call him for good talk, he say, well, if you not get either the best or nothing. He said because in a case schoolboy. So you see all these things, you see the remarks of things you see when the interview, what you see at one point, then you see the pattern they bring for develop again to say that I will change the currency and do the currency now, you know they get the bulk of waiting, the relationship we put between without a printer, why they print them, how much are they use, where they go print them. So all that thing and they not print, they bring them down because it's central idea. You see, whether you get a committee, we not be so overcome. We know say even tell us in section 30 of the Constitution of Banking, now use for say get right for go ahead for doing. But the other side, when you look back, yes, when they say reach for go get a committee and people under the committee. So, but because that relationship will not be in the sea, because in your ideas we are different from the idea where they go sell, and the committee when they in a parliament, when that finance committee, other things, they not to the committee where they be able for interact them or question them. So what he been they go say that was it. We don't see the evidence. If you don't go actually in the parliament 1 or 2 times, but if they go there with the committee, and some day them you know they go. So the few day that way go, the speaker pronounce it actually can. He tell them say you know responsible for the structure of the economy. He said in terms of the dollar in price, say well, in only responsible for other side on a monetary areas. He said nothing, daily according to the constitution. So you see, he pulled himself from one of the constitution. But when you look at the constitution and the actual day, there is a relationship between that thing and the all. So, but it comes to whether they take responsibility, whether therefore look in your side of the economy, how you can bring the idea, and then how the small funds the way they will be able to deal with, and look at how the outside markets they go and the produce they want to get, how to convert them. Because some of them are little starts up when they get for go to the community, when I go transform, like I be talking about people and business, you go see that they are get for go to make know how they invest and they so it will turn around and come back. But if I not if I see one at the have up and the GDP, when at the government they pull, well like the minerals itself gets a big gap. You see, and that's the area now. Because the GDP now is say, oh well, we not get exchange. The one what when they go on a bigger one, it go about the 30%. Government not they allow for cap. Not supposed that they refuse, but the law they put is not effective. So the people then they do them, whether then they lobby or then they ignore for them, will bring that 30% where they don't sell their produce back, where will be in the form of an exchange. Then the one now again where they can now little, they say for go to the central bank. If I go to the physical side, well, I don't know if now who's kind consolidated fund, now they even go, or there was a special fund who will not even know when the truth about it will come. But the truth about the revenue then will they come between waiting with the get, I think the problem being back with the governor. When they make up story because waiting me here in the pronounce when they interfere. You see, so what it don't they say them things they are in different form. You don't they mention them. So you see say them they ignore them. So if there's even a glitch where they can't now say, well, he don't use a big weapon for hit the economy for let go weak out, and then you see back the other side they withdraw and then they hit inside. So you see say you know they work. They try the market side, the bank side, and then they get the investors and they come and they try to bring them only tool for them go redirect them to the economy. And they see now what they give, now like when they say they give almost steroid by pain, and then they can't give that enough money, then they give small booster, then the government, the World Bank give some money and go give some few them, one they wouldn't have the tourism side or the entertainment sector. So but that was just a steroid. So you don't become a steroid because the economy don't kill her and they bring out pain killing. And the pain killing are instant. You force eat them, pain long, the thing they grow because there is nothing else we then go do. That money they will develop. So that instant they go on all along. And when you see the pattern of waiting then they sit and they spend and they help. I know they look at for years there now, but the present one I would not hike to double and a half. So now they say the pattern above helping and give small loans and they get small areas they will revive them, they get injured, they do the union there, they get some people and they come, they get some donor agents, they get a charity. That now they disguise now the whole system. When you look at the economy itself, actually not in a developing form, there is a need, there is a big start up with them get to do. But the idea is that then the policies then they but nobody really see how they turn the policies around. They see there are things they don't put in the say they don't pronounce, they don't do out, but we don't know the economy, how they will able to turn on because they see changes or they change them back. Nobody really ever tell we because when they do changes and other thing, they show people that the committee kind of thing, there is a question line where they say they put development. But when they allow people and they come with idea, nobody know they come for it always being a problem. But only hope say then we able for look how the global chain it go, the how they say we able for do their own method for transact because there is a lot because people that they move now na the urban area. That area they all get for look and that organization people they try for catch up with other thing how the trade go dey. Now they increase the trade or na get for increase the method of trade. Or now the module na they get for change. The module they always they use not a good module, they get for review and look back. Whoever get for come for that economy, I didn't tell you that they challenge. Thanks a lot for the recognition. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, whose friend.
You're welcome, yes, sir.
Well, for say thanks to whose friend for your submission today. Welcome on board, Alpha. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, truthfully, thanks for bringing me on board. I want to say big thank you to whose friend and the other presenter or analyst. May God bless them. I get about 4 points for talk on. I hope say I sound well. Okay, good. I get 4 points I want for talk on. But the first thing you ask a question if the current government president be in government will able to turn around the economy. I think for this time I will tell me I will categorically make them very clear say it's not possible. You get 5 years and now you have less than 150 days, let me put it on so, plus and minus whatever for turn the economy. I'm afraid it's not gonna be possible. Yeah, it's too short the time we don't left. And the other thing we would need for no, I think President Bio for me has a good agenda, but the people around that these are the bad people. Them come with a vengeance for carry revenge. All waiting and do now for like okay, no hit back in the opposition, and that's the where they misled our president. They forget totally to address or amend the things they wouldn't don't promise the people them. So what think can happen? Most of the zeal, the strength, the economy, with the money we be they use them for fetch the opposition. Commission of inquiry, what we achieve from them up till today, we still not for them talk about white paper, then this all written and then just they unpick people the way they know say if they hit this one, they're able for crumble, just crumble your position. That's just it. And we not today they not tell we almost then spend per the COI. Let them tell we almost then spend or to achieve in conducting a whole COI we take almost days or almost months. Yeah, we've not achieved anything substantial from that. For me, if I were President Bio, those around me are the fire them with immediate effect because they misled them. Yeah. But I go to me point them. Like I said, you first question we ask if they're able to transform the economy, it's not possible. And even if they give them another chance, except if they change the team, I will tell people this one. Except if President Bio change the team, wherein for me I still not see impossible because those around them now people always contribute immensely for making win election, the previous election 2018. So you're not able to go without them, you're able to change them. And even if you win in 2023, we go so the next 3 months or 2 months, 3 months, yeah, put and so, yeah. Even if you win, he can't do without those people. And I will tell everybody, most of them people they not get experience for one economy. Most of them, if possible, I would say 70%. What can happen? Some of them are like from a school direct to business. Some of them normally they do anything related to economical growth or economic business. So what you do because they win, these are some of the guys when we get around them in London and move with them inside government. And what you then do when they go inside government, then kick everybody where they did. The one they self will get experience, then kick them all with the idea we don't believe. Now that make the president self me talk him. In fact, up till today they talk him emphatically that any work to I not believe, would I know, know. So, and that's not it. If I'm a professional, if I know me, I'm a job, even if you don't know me, trust the job one I know. If I not deliver for you, you can fire me. But President Bill never did that. What he did was to like, you know what, let me kick everybody. Say to drivers, say to cleaners, we see say them pull everybody. Yeah. So that's it. Even if they give them another term, they cannot change the economy because they don't have expertise. The expertise what they need for make the economy go before is not there. Until we get experts into the system, then the system can change. And this is not the problem we'll get. We system not a change. We think saying a strong man, then we need look get president. You will get my nine and show Jatkadi. He can't change the no. It's not working like that anymore. Yes, Sierra Leone, the country, the world don't move beyond we inside our first we get mind, we get strength, then we put in a position. We need systems in place. If system is there, believe you me, the first 3 years now in this government for don't make name. But when the system were not there, that make them not able to make a single up till now. I can tell everybody, and I would emphatically say this one: 90% of this government achievement where they do not theoretical achievement. To criminalize the law, we don't do this, we don't change. These are all theories. It not affect, it not get any effect to the layman as street yonder. I could remember when the is it the minister of trade or so when they talk for transform this economy. These guys are all theory guys. Not because you get PhD, 90% PhD holders now lecturers the most of them now. Yeah. Then they inside government, then they inside for make policies, but when you find them in the classroom, they are there to make teach policies, write books. But you bring them into government, it's challenging because some of them don't have the practical experience. One of the traders, them way I don't know his name, he tell the minister, I say, look, the economy in a street. And if you cannot link the economy to the street and with the government, you miss it totally. That's what we see. When they come inside governments, they increase all the tax they will they pay. What do you expect? Increment in this, the layman will continue for so far. Wataki, all the tax will go up. The layman will continue for so far. Whether man don't go shipping in rest or whatever, where you pay heavy tax, it will increase in price. Whether they feel them, not the layman they feel them. Meanwhile, they campaign on this same economy thing. They campaign, they bread and butter. And in fact, that thing they for where this government they not play again. Tolongone is angry boku. They not play again because the angry don't double. Even international community they talk about and say Sierra Leone are the most hungriest or third or so hungriest country in the world. That's to tell you they missed it from the word go. And when you don't miss them from the foundation or from the word go, for let you correct her at the end, it's going to be difficult. It's not even possible. Yeah. Now go to my next point, Ipoli. Then you take excuse from Ukraine and Russia war and then the COVID. I want to ask this question. Guinea, not a part of the world. Why Guinea today, the money, ever since in the east of Sierra Leone, when me know, yeah, me are born in the late 80s, coming to the 90s. For when me get sense, one day with Guinea money no beat saloon. High pass Sierra Leone money. Most dynamic people they come out salon and they won't go inside Guinea, go buy business, can as freedom, then sell and make profit. Now the opposite. Why? Because we not get expert in the system. We're able for maintain the economy. Now military government na Guinea so, but the dollar then gets a stable rate. We one of the best man or great man here can talk and TTJ. It can most time they bring them up because we not get people who know the job inside the system. President Biogi, he give job based on people then we then do them with them support them. So he just appreciate them with the job. You take this position, you take this position. Check. We see a whole nurse within America, then go bring them and put an state house as waiting and call. Eh? Because they didn't have social media, they attack people, and so they bring an a job. Bring the person, put another the nursing department, lay head for improved it. Other than you go bring, see, we put wire peg in round holes, and you expect results. You will never get good results. Now go to my next point. Then they make most. I make I tell you say these people they don't know not theory. Then they jump with. Then they say we pass MCC. How does MCC passing reflect to the layman and street? It's all theories. MCC now based on the theory, the legislations, the way that they pass. Now then they able for like access. Oh, they don't do this law, give them grade on this. Yeah. So the layman and street and now they continue for so far. When I continue they pass MCC no more. Let you see. Now they still that they pass MCC, but almost in the buy less now. Now MCC responsible for not buy less cheap or less. Now 600,000, 600 plus some areas, depending on the distance. Now people they buy less so. Then we get people now this government if they don't talk down. And one way they pay me people, we get people even abroad. Wey dem if they don't talk to Sierra Leone don Sierra Leone na heaven, but dem sit down na abroad, dem no dey ever left abroad go that salon o. But every day dem dey vuvu sell at this government thing, and they don't do well, they don't do that. I mean say this government not do nothing. Then get like I tell you, most of the thing, and I make I say most of the thing they will do for me, 80% to 90% na theory. 10% that me for me, that my assessment, and the end that will go to the educational sector. Even at that, there are a lot of challenge in that too. There are a lot of challenge. Now make Dixie say, you know, they call it free quality education, now free education. And let us look something way free if you get quality. Now go to my next point quick. Of course, I don't make mention of the MCC. I will give a quick summary of how Ghana attacked this COVID and this Ukraine thing and we salon nine the card for make we give excuse. Ghana, what did the president do? It cut 30% of all presidential appointee or waiting and call. What we own government do? They add on all presidential appointee salary, all of them, including parliamentarians. They not how we see parliamentarian and the feds for they add the salary and the condition of living. Did they remember the poor people in the streets? No, they never did. Did President Bio reduce his flying all over the world? No, he never did. Instead, he fly more and more. So the new airport where they say the commission, the new airport not even done it, then because he don't begin fly pan and back. Because if he don't done, people for the user. Is he really genuine, ready for work for this country? No, the people around and then they mislead this guy. Then they mislead him. I don't know if I will say innocently, but wholeheartedly they follow the crowd like for say this is the right thing the people they want. What they want for they tell her, and it's wrong. Instead of get media team the way they go out there, now them for they go meet the people, let them listen the people and cry and come and give them say, this thing what they do so right so prices they go up every day. We come on they say, oh, na fear. Interesting. People and they complain, people and they say na abroad na say that because of fear go up now the world market. Like where Abdukabo made the analyze na 98 this morning. Yeah. So when fear go up, ever reach the way fear go up during the APC term. But yet still APC subsidize more. Even if they say they subsidize, what they subsidize, if people not they feel the subsidy what they say then they add. For me, I yet foresee that subsidy day because this same government campaign against that. The time when APC be then a power where they refuse for cut the subsidy per fuel, waiting happen. IMF they all withdraw from the past government, and what this current government use that as a campaign message strategy. Oh, look at international community monitor the organization and they run come up and the APC. They not me ever know say that was the stake will make people and the IMF them stop for support APC. Because IMF condition, not they ever, and they tell everybody, not they ever give them money where you think say you go make gain out of it. No. Any country where they run you economy on donor funding and IMF thing, you ready for suffer you people. So Ghana did extremely well. Apart from that one day, Tripoli, what thing Ghana do? I do a research before I the council. The electricity, they subsidize to like 70 to 80%. They reduce the electricity rates. Most of the services with government they render, they reduce the price. So people not feel the pinch like how they feel and Sierra Leone also. Let's go back now. Sierra Leone to the electricity rate. Not 2 or 3 weeks ago or so, we talk about her. They up. People they pay electricity by tariff, they know they get lights. When people talk, you go get the one that when a party picking and now they will begin to attack you. Oh, they support this party and this and that. It really sad. The last one we talk on land or the landlord now with the bank governor. That man then one person we help for put this government under the mud. And they tell everybody. The first thing we make I put question mark on. He say he writes book on corruption, but when he come where they in governance, so the corruption we see or whatever, it dey beyond what he writes. That tells you first of all, what he writes not to wait, he not do better research. That's now one. Number two, Even if you do research, that was an opportunity for make you do more research, because every research get limitation. And the limitation wey we don see, if I don write another book wey maybe go be second edition or part 2 of wetin he write, but no come back wetin make I say in a one post wey put this country or this government into mess. One, how much money this guy use for print new currency? Then call an parliament for go to discuss about this new currency. Did he attend there? Attended there? No way. Instead, he challenged them back. President Bio no get my Saka because I don't know how they relate. This is not some of the things where really they affect the people their life. In whole country they would use 2 currency. For when say they print coin them, I don't know, maybe 3 people who we go salon, I see the coin them, when I see how it's time. Who I face daily. For when they say that they print coin them, 30 days they don't print the coin them. 30 days. Almost money them prints. They don't ask that man from where they print money. Almost total money he prints. 30 days not give you answer. Almost money spent where he pay in cash for print the new money. 30 days we not get them. So it's me we they run a country, we don't know how much new money they in circulation. Even the old money, we don't know. It's really sad. Almost then they don't push this date for say that they stop the old money. Trust me, December they come back. This 2023 December, then they push them back. Because 30 the way you go to the bank, then they give you still old money. How you want for pull this old money now? When still it is in circulation, banks they distribute them. I mean by now then for the stop them inside the banks, then banks they distribute new notes. Anyway, there is a lot to talk. I rest my case, Tripoli. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Alpha.
Thank you.
Yeah. Philip Sao. I don't know on what basis you carry today. I don't know if you knew or you try for get my attention for the read your message. But this one, now that you look for this one gets my attention. You say, now, if President Bill call me for give me hook, me go run and grab him. But they are fumble them. Una who don't deal with Swift for long na ya. Una can able answer am for me. There, if una able answer am for me, wetin I can talk na ya. It go be better. Yeah? Make I no answer am. Welcome on board, Tony. Tony Ture Jones. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for having me. Good share a couple from them. I also say thanks to Usman and Brother Al, for their wonderful submissions. Yeah, if you say the one way this be administration go able for turn things around. Because right now, as it is right now, it really messy. The dollar rates now the great factor right now where they affect businesses when I like the fear right now to the economy. And we not a grow a lot of things that would eat. So we depend mainly in importation of things them. And one concern of the business people in our salon, we make everyday dollar price go up. So many factors then they affect that. One, if you notice say the black market gets so much power than even we government, we financial institutions them. We for actually they provide the dollar them. The dollar for the business people them. So waiting at the problem where they happen. If the businessman want for import any dollar, they gonna bank dollar not the banks not able to provide the adequate fund where you need, it turn to the black market. And once you see the demand, most times we don't want to do economics to tell you see that certain way inflation can be caused. One will say demand push inflation, cost, and those other things. But when the demand higher right now, people are not able to get the dollar from the bank, they go to the black market. And when they go to the black market, who pays the piper most times? The rhythm or the tune. Then tell you see, I get dollar, but now this not my price. And you don't get a choice. You just go for buy. So at the end of the day, either they feel the burden that the final consumer, because when the man come, he can't sell. I'm buying goods, he bring and carry, add all those costs. And now it is speculated, say by the time it go back for go buy, dollar don't go up. Like right now, dollar actually right now is 2,070,000. Even real they pay 2,018,000 right now. You understand? So it's a great concern. So the only way governments get for one way they get for do so many ways the way they can do they get for see how they get for cut taxes on certain things then. Because now if you cut taxes, it's like plus one. The dollar they affect demand. But once you cut tax, they make the man not feel the burden too much. So they increase the cost all the time where they go by. So then therefore look at that thing there because I feel saying that they one way we affect this economy when this government come into power. When they come, they pull a lot of subsidies. They take out some companies and they get some tax breaks. Some of this then they so if I say they not do a thorough research when they just come in for say let us see some of them come near where they get concession or where they get tax break or where they get some of them there and see how we can able to deal with the matter whilst then still they do business and then we negotiate if possible. You understand? But when they just took up power, they just stop everything. And that shock they were creating at the market, $9 begin go up. And then the second shock where the economy gets, they take the subsidies of fuel. And you know how fuel now how fuel the ripple effect of or the cost of fuel. Once you get fuel price begin they go up every day, all other commodities, all other some services in the system will be affected. They mainly affect the economy. So they have to go back, if possible, sit down with some of the business people after we don't give some tax cuts or they understand. Certain companies they will really need some tax breaks because they go for catch up. Some of these business where they operate in a salon, some they operate on loans where they take na banks then. You understand? And then they fail their loans every month. They get for pay interest rates on those loans. So when you give them that kind when you give them that kind of shock, you cut them off from them and things that with them you don't enjoy from the previous administration. Some of them just stop for do business. Some of them just they in business, they quit accountants and go say, go in concern. Just for let this business know that let me shop the OP. Then some business they do. It's not like they're doing full scale no longer because they're not able to even determine the next exchange rates every time when they do stock reordering or when they do turnover of their stock because every time it keeps changing. So government get for look at something. Some people then go say, oh, government need money for fear their recurrent expenditures. They go for pay teachers, they go for pay army, they go for pay themselves, go for get their salary allowance. No, it's true. Government they get money, but so many resources have come in. Taxes, when you give the tax breaks or you cut down on taxes, so what you do, you make adjustments. Some fiscal policy get for day. You make adjustment in your spending. So certain things that the way government they spend by were not too necessary. Certain cars and the way they buy or certain truck or SUV way they buy, not necessary. It's not that we have a recession because even at the US now, so you see what happened to this bank will just go down. You understand? So many, even the economists and the project say there will be a recession, but they just not going to come up. And what's not recession? Recession just means you check on you spending, you reduce certain things. So if they use 5 of this, you want for use 4. You understand? The previous governments see all those signs, these things them. But when you come, you say the governments when they power left, they left with pam. How would they call this thing? Way the adjective everybody they use the left with pam. Something spending or whatever. You understand? If I not say now the same thing when they get to governments get for cut down on the spending. Me one side where I feel say I get issue. Where I get issue. Now when the president now I'm not say enough for travel, but cut down on the number of people you go in. If you want to cut down on the spending, cut down on the number of people you traveling with. That's one. If you cut down on the number of trips so you make, because that's money. If you accumulate all the resources, then the money on all the travel, chartered flights and everything, per diem of people that are going, all that money. So when you want to make sure, say, you want to save money, because now you don't cut your revenue, because you want to make the businessman able to do business, you give them that confidence. So you cut down on certain things, and what we need for even for the localize, for the bar and salon, we don't for the even the other certain things like furniture for government offices. Establish government workshops. We first will get government workshops that we make empower, bring the tools if possible. Then they make desks or table or whatever they need. Supply schools, supply offices, supply this. We can still get a good quality because we still get board them. or timber, na salon, when are good like them mahogany, then they both when are very good quality things. There. So certain things they cut down. You know what I mean? Say when you cut down, make the people say I'm visible, say men are responsible governments. Because I know the hardship when people that they face right now. I don't cut down on this. Even my salary, I cut down on my salary. Even on social allowances, they give them. Then another thing again, we country, we know they get the dollar. Just like I said, we know the export. Then you get people then way you they pay when they expatriate in dollar. So the real business people then when they go to the bank for dollar not the. And those are the effects. Why you not go pay the people? If the person in America you pull and come on, or England you pull and come on, you go salary, they serve as expatriates on inside, pay aliens because of basically even countries they are around the world, they make structural adjustment. Then they change their fiscal policies them, just for suits, just for able for make them able for develop or the GDP not be affected. So they find that the standard of living, the cost of living not going to be too high like how they see. In Sierra Leone, it is difficult. The government therefore take responsibility. Now them, now the government. I don't know how they get for do them, but so many things in ways then the way they get for do. They get for cut down on the spending. They get for make sure say we bring in public transportation. Where for a long time we know they see public transportation are just come off free tongue. You they see people that still the queue from Waterloo for Camp Free Tongue, from 5 now Waterloo Lumpa for Camp Free Tongue, from Hamilton for Camp Free Tongue, for people that for go. So you the all them things that they need to provide transportation, public transportation. You know they. You understand? Why to make you go bring the public transportation? Cost of fuel they go up. So if government buses and then at street where they travel, where they transfer people, they pull them from one point to another location, they suffer too much, they feel what happen. Even the taxi driver, the private transportation system, then they comply to price. But right now, as it is right now, no price control in terms of transportation. Take motor from Joy Junction for go Lumley, or take from Joy Junction for go Wilberforce. They all have different prices, depend on the hour. Because if they're sitting in rush hour now, this they won't pay. But if we government can subsidize and put public transportation in the system, we go help people them. Even certain goods and services where they come up like for instance, they get Luma, now certain areas, aside trucks, get meeting with all them business people, they get organization. See how we can able to ask them, how can we help? We want for help in transportation. We want for truck there, possible soldier truck there, the day or whatever. You can get a pool of trucks there where they way go na Bamo Luma. When they don't sell them, you load them goods for them, you count and put na free. You find out say you don't take one cost from them. If the person does for pay 1,000 for one bag, then he pay 500 for one bag from Bamo Luma for Camfriton, where he cannot increase that cost to 1,000 because he spent half of the cost, which is 50%. So just an increase in price by small significant figure, when it go affect the person when they come on alumni for go buy markets and Bombay markets every morning. So many things in the way government. This is not about rocket science. This is not about getting the PhD. This is about. How you call them? It's about how you going to use you social skills. You understand emotional intelligence. How you able to get initiative? Because if you being a leader, you not get initiative. That's a big problem. You're not a leader, you not get empathy because what is happening? You can forget empathy for see how people. So Abraham, I can tell you this for free. The first time bigger man on Friday they would see there Friday. Now, free talk, every day bigger man in a street. You see people well dressed. And not for say some na scam. It's not day for it's very expensive. Look the cost of rice. 600 or 650. It's expensive. The government can turn things around. People they like them. Some people they like them. Some people not go not everybody go like them. But so many things then the way they have to change. They go for change the lifestyle as well. Not for say if people they raise issue on certain things the way they do, they hate them. No, people they try for create that checks and balance. People they try for correct them. You pick yourself if they do bad, you talk to her for make it correct, let you listen because you want the best for her. So certain people that they talk, especially this platform they talk, they go for no say. You pick yourself or your brother or your sister where they do wrong, you don't let her continue to do the wrong because where the problem come, now the family get for upper. So you get for corrector. So if then they listen to what they say, it will help them for making them turn things around. But as it is right now, if they not check that foreign exchange, bruh, I go so every week. I'm among me full up today with the talk. Now I say what's in the rate, I say you know they determine the rate. I say no, now every Monday, the rates they go up. So now the Agboga say, so next week morning, how much it will be? 2 million 80, now they laugh. You understand? This is how it's happening. It's not government policy now, government policy where they regulate dollar. No, you know, they got the bank. Now the streets, then they determine the price. And just like we all say, one big man, say government economy, the salon economy, they're not streets. We're not the streets, the black markets. I mean, you take that, Abraham, but they have to check on the spending. They go for do a lot of things that they go for subsidize for people. Them, especially look at just like where I'll say, I go Conakry. I'm a party nine na the MP the managing director na Conakry. Say MP gets a branch they get an office na Guinea, Conakry. This guy Dumbuya slashed the price for gas, cooking gas, to 50%. The government now they subsidize. So I asked my father, I said, so what's in this? He said that because the MP Guinea, now then basically they do very well in gas because they took over, they acquire a company, we go into solvency, we now them buy. So they were doing very well in gas. Now, because of this last year, this guy said, MP now they make money, the gas company, the other gas company, they make money on gas. It's just like they're just making a little percentage over the margin, little profits then they make. But whether they for fight back, they don't go fight back because say the military government and whether man not say una cut the price to half, they listen. And then they subsidize. Even though the subsidies whether they give, it's not enough, but then therefore comply. So what's that price control now? These are some of the problems. These are some of the problems. The government got to take responsibility. Otherwise, people will use this economy against them now the ballot box. They just go for try. Who will likely? Who will just go for better? Otherwise, because an office says cost of living so expensive with it, somebody go gladly for go vote for you back. So they need to check that. Trust me, they need for checker. It's a red flag. That economy side or that foreign exchange, it's a real red flag for them. They need to.
All right, thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome, bro.
Yeah. Wait, Tony, be the talk. This how we reach about austerity. I see a lot of people they comment austerity. We don't do a program now on that. Where I ask the question if government for declare austerity. This administration not go declare austerity. They don't do in 98. I think it was Honorable Abdul Kabo. It's either the Minister of Information or Lael Slima. Where they say they need for declare austerity. Where two they pan on austerity. But no, because they use them for campaign the last time. They use them for campaign the last time. And on all we don't answer Philip, na thank you. So no need for answer. Yeah? And so go left here today. Oh, left here so. Yeah? I want to believe say we don't talk for we all. We don't talk for we all. The comment section self don't speak up. We don't talk for we all. Today on so go left here. I see Musa the tower for call. Musa, okay, I give you 3 minutes quick because see the tower for call no more. The tower. I saw about hello left here, but what you want to add?
Okay, I think I perform now.
Yes.
Hello. Una good day. No, I just laugh, If una who's now back for all the PhD man, they live as we still talk about how they fix the economy. It's really funny for me, but I'm glad for what you calling the talk and it really makes sense. First, my name is Musa, the talk from TV. This is very easy. What we need advice for people to do, you go back on the ballot box and the mistake we don't do, you go reverse and that and fix that. Sometimes you can buy business no profit, no mean. But if you go buy another business, you can't cover up land losses, losses. Straight on the point, as we all see, what you've got are just done the talk. You see this thing like very easy. Now, so acceptable exactly the talk. Bringing the issue, bringing solution. We go fix this, we go do this instead of this. It's just exactly the bank of sorry why they laugh. But it's really funny because if the president for Saka, I don't know if I impressed. You understand? It don't every time I say they are good and Sabi are good the Bousu. Then they like call them the Bousu. They can't inside the bank, keep money go. The parliament no be for call them. And the call I no go. You understand? So imagine what the ACC will do. The other say, oh, now they fight corruption, they fight what they will do. But all now that case to the Tawapa say, we will go check this case here, we will make to get case, to get case, to get case. And I don't know how we will put this for the people that really for understand. The only way in order to put this government out, the next one take place now.
No, Lord left the people them for decide and the Musa. Lord left the people them for decide. Not the only way than they. Everybody gets in your own way. Every way na way. Lord left them for decide.
Okay, me. Like no go fix that again. You understand? The only way I tell them to fix them, then they go to the ballot box and make the decision. That's the only way they will fix the economy. Because look what we brought just to talk about the soldier within the joint leader within Guinea. It's subsidized. We work now, we run away from subsidies. We would like to see IMF make do money again because we not go for subsidies. We don't take away the subsidies. Now in the life share of these subsidies, where they put them in the film. So it's like back and forth. For all the degree holders, for all the PhD, for all this. Now, until they say the last government they get the worst economy, let the ballot box go show. Okay. It's not true of us. So I make you see that they talk at the last. Now because you show for run the economy past the president.
All right, thank you
very much. It's funny for me today.
Tony make mention of that. I remember the last time, maybe people don't go remember, where things then begin go helter-skelter in prices. And I talk and okay, before that, they say, oh, they don't put subsidy pages. Somebody made a comment and say, oh, now not go even talk about that. Now I talk and I say, bo, they will put her, now then pull her. Just like what Tony say, when this administration come, they not do checks and balance. Then everything like where all the subsidy they do for rest, waiting they do, then pull all thing. Then no team begin go helter skelter and they want fix them. You know fix. You know fix. Now they pass today. Today now they pass. God help us. Now it's a possible for change government, not to the platform this. Let the people make the decision. I tell you, say, now the issue that they were being get with NGC them. We now if it's anybody who not support the candidates, hey, the person all like salon this and that. No. Let the people then take the decision. Yeah? Let them take the decision. You register and then go vote. Go vote. Vote your conscience. Yes? Now then all the way we there, you are allowed to talk who you want to vote for. Either the person they go vote self, they tell you I voted in the Democrat, Republican. But tout ça will come out. You can't wait the politics they play there. I'll leave the people for decide. And they know what best stand for them. What make you always talk now and say, if somebody votes, please make your vote be counted. Uda no vote, no counting vote. Uda no vote, no counting vote. But Uda vote, please let vote be counted. Eh? Jacob's left. All right. We'll go there back tomorrow. The questions still remain. The beer administration. With the kind of the cost of living they go. Then go able fix them? How then go able fix them? When then go able fix them? How soon then go able fix them? Maybe. Then go tell you say, no, give them a second chance so that then go fix them. We'll go there back tomorrow. Till we meet again tomorrow. Tiki police. Tata.